La la la. Da da da. Da da da. Woo!
It's shocking how much work there is to do, even for the three of us.
And she's been handling it alone all along. The Qixing secretary clearly isn't an ordinary person.
You're just...
Aren't you Ningguang's servants? How come you're here?
We are Miss Ningguang's private secretaries, not servants.
Have you seen Miss Ganyu, Traveler? It has been several days since Ganyu left for Jueyun Karst.
Even though the Qixing have made peace with the Adepti after the latter had denounced Liyue, they still want to pay their respects to the Illumine. They commissioned Ganyu as their envoy to deliver a letter to Jueyun Karst and bring the Adepti the latest news about the crisis. Still, Ganyu should have been back to her usual responsibilities by now, but she's disappeared with...
Is that so? Maybe Ganyu just took a little
I'm afraid it's not very likely. Ever since we met Ms. Ganyu, she's been nothing. Even when it's time for her annual leave, Ms. Ganyu stays on duty at Yuehai Pavilion saying there is still so much to do. She couldn't possibly be using her mission as an excuse to slack off.
Oh, Paimon sees how it is. But she's half Adeptus. She wouldn't get in trouble, right?
It's because of this absurd workload of hers. When we first heard the three of us would be taking over for Miss Ganyu, we thought it would simply be a matter of changing our work environment.
We couldn't have imagined that Miss Ganyu's daily workload far exceeds what the three of us are used to.
Speaking of Jueyun Karst, Traveler, I've heard that you can go in and out of there as you please.
Of course! We've been there lots of times.
That's good news. Could you go to Jueyun Karst and find Miss Ganyu? We're saved. I remember Miss Ganyu said that she'd be visiting Cloud Retainer's abode. You might as well start looking for her there.
It's about time she came back to work. Otherwise...
No, perhaps we should go to Lady Ningguang first and bring up our overtime pay again.
So Ganyu left to visit Cloud Retainer. Doesn't she live in Mount Aozong? We should hurry up. Paimon hopes we can find her there. The person standing over there! That's Ganyu! We finally found her! Ganyu! Here you are!
You two. I did not expect to meet you here. Is it official or private affairs that bring you here? I shouldn't. I have left the human world.
Huh? You don't want to be the Qixing secretary anymore? But they're all waiting for you to come back!
That's why you're here? You want me to come back?
What? Did something—
The clouds fold and unfold. The tide ebbs and flows. It was meant to be. When the Adepti entrusted humans with overseeing Liyue, I knew it was only a matter of time until I had to leave. My Adepti blood makes me unwelcome in Liyue Harbor. I delivered the letter and came back to Liyue Harbor, only to discover that I had been replaced by Baiwen, Baishao, and Baishe. Perhaps that mission of mine was just a pretext to remove me. I appreciate your kindness, but there's no need for your words of comfort. After 1,000 years away, I came back to Jueyun Karst. Looking at the clouds floating—
but—
Who disturbs the peace of these mountains?
Cloud Retainer, we're terribly sorry. We just—
One merely jests. One felt your presence the moment you set foot upon this land.
Wow, you Adepti really are impressive.
Come here to chat about the old times with Ganyu. A matter leaves you at an impasse then. Not to worry. One is exceptional at seeking avenues for conversation. One has been one's own companion in idle talk for many a year. Yes. Since you are Ganyu's friends, tales from her youth shall one apprise you of, perhaps?
Oh, Cloud Retainer.
Nothing to be ashamed of. You were—
Oh, Paimon wants to hear it.
Little Ganyu loved when the horns on the top of her head were caressed. When one was still taking care of her, one was pestered most often to touch her horns. She was elsewise loath to sleep.
Wow.
Plump she was back then. Why, when she stumbled while we ascended the mountain, she would roll down to the bottom like a little ball. The day Ganyu bumped into a pilgrim was the first time she saw a real human in the flesh. So fearful she was that she hid in a rock's cleft for 2 days and nights. One found her wailing of a monster she had seen.
Cloud Retainer? Forget it. It's about time for my training. I will take my leave.
One's intention was merely to relieve the awkward tension.
And you did the exact opposite. Impressive.
Be that so? But returning to Ganyu, most gladdened one is of your arrival. One cannot help but feel that remaining in Jueyun Karst shall not be good for her. One will tell you more about her, if you should permit it. Most benevolent among all Adepti are the Qilin. They drink only spring water and eat only whole grain. But perhaps the mountainous dwellings of Adepti in Jueyun Karst might be too lonely for her human side. Under moonlight did one see her last. She stood by the precipice's edge, and upon the mist-veiled mountains she gazed. Her thin figure was immersed in the vast sea of clouds. One noticed her loneliness, and sought to convince her to go back to the human world. But just then, she said thus.
Liyue Harbor feels even lonelier than Jueyun Karst. When I look at the sea of clouds in Jueyun Karst, I merely feel the loneliness of a solitary cloud gazer. When I step into the sea of people in Liyue, I feel the loneliness of an inhuman that doesn't belong in the human world.
One did, by chance, hear this much of Ganyu's thoughts. Alone, she will find her predicament hard to conquer.
Oh, Retainer's right. We can't leave Ganyu depressed like that. Besides, Liyue hasn't given up on her. She's got it all wrong. Anyways, what's that training Ganyu?
She has sought to reclaim her Adeptus side since returning to Jueyun Karst. At her back, she should be in the southern part of Mount Aozong right now, preparing for the trial.
Huh, is that so? Let's go take a look then. Let's dance! Shadow Raven, let night fall! Huh. 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 So here you are, Ganyu.
Why did you come here? Humans should not remain in the realm of Adepti for Considering the kindness you have shown me,
Yay!
this trial was prepared by Cloud Retainer. Its goal is to help me feel like an Adeptus again. The training is much to her signature style. I hope it won't make it seem like she is too unaware of the abilities of others.
Is it difficult?
No, I'm aware of your strength, Traveler. The power hidden within you is not inferior to mine. If you're ready, we shall begin the training. Next on the agenda...
Wow! Ganyu's a really awesome shooter!
If you could see through the eyes of an Adeptus, you wouldn't be so surprised. Next on the agenda... we've completed the task. I agree. You possess many qualities similar to those of Adepti, despite having none of their blood.
Ganyu, what were you planning to do once your training was over?
The training's not over yet. The part prepared by Cloud Retain.
Huh? So there are more trials prepared by other Adepti?
No. The only Adeptus who.
Who is it?
Conqueror of demons.
Huh. So it's Xiao. That cool.
I found him unapproachable at first, too. But I believe that being able to face him is an important part of my homecoming. He's already waiting for me. Come along if you're interested.
Of course we are. Let's go.
What shall we do?
You're half an hour late. I see you still haven't abandoned the wrongful ways of humankind.
I'm sorry. I had a meeting with Cloud Retain.
I don't need your explanations and don't require any mutual understanding between us. I'm just helping you with your training. That's all.
Xiao is such a strict teacher.
You're neither an Adeptus nor a human, always treading the line between the two worlds. It must create a lot of confusion. Instead of explaining yourself to me, you should face your true self.
I have nothing to hide.
The body and the mind are one. If something worries your mind, your body can help you find a solution. The trial I've prepared for you will explore the true potential of your body.
Yes.
The trial's begun! Paimon can feel it in the air. Even the weather's changed. La la la. Hi-ya! Oz, reveal thyself!
Order guide.
Midnight Phantasmagoria! Come on, we can do it!
Blaze over. Born of ice and frost.
Order guide. Stabilize.
Come on, we can do it! All hail! Wings of darkness, come! La la la, la la la. Dumpy dumpy go!
Order guide you.
On let's dance! Blaze over!
Midnight Phantasmagoria. Stabilize. Order guide you.
Let the show begin! La la la.
I've completed your trial.
You don't have to report back to me. Seeking other people, only you can evaluate the result of this trial.
Understood.
Xiao always has such strong opinions.
From tomorrow on, I'll start raising the difficulty of your training, so you'll have to...
I have to do what?
Another one of those pesky visitors. I'll leave him to you, Ganyu. It's also a part of your training.
Pesky visitor? So even here there are
Oh heavens! Blessed be Rex Lapis! I've finally come upon the Adepti. Are all of you the Adepti of this mountain? Great! My name's Sin Chung. I came to ask for your merciful blessings, O Adepti. I beg of you, please grant me luck, wealth.
Oh, so it's a pilgrim.
I am also one of the Adepti.
Perfect. I didn't come in vain then. Although you sound a bit half-hearted. Doesn't matter. What blessings can you grant me?
Wow, straight to the point, huh?
Dear Pilgrim, you shouldn't jump to conclusions. Adepti...
For free? Do you mean that you charge people for...
that's not what I meant. What I'm trying to say is that it would be unfair to other people if you got everything you wanted for no reason.
Hold on. I've heard this all before. You're just like my old man. Always nag.
Your father must have experienced it firsthand. The lives of the common folk are riddled with hardship. A person of your age should focus on work and family, instead of chasing after fairy tales.
Are you a real Adeptus? Why do you speak and behave like us city folk? You sure you're not one of those swindlers who pose as an Adeptus? Ugh, how dare you reprove me? I bet you came here looking for the Adepti yourself.
He might sorta have a point. We did.
Enough. Doesn't matter if you're a real Adeptus or not. You're useless. I'm...
Nobody's stopping you. Ganyu, don't let that guy ruin your mood.
It's not his behavior. The things he said... He was right. I thought that coming back to Jueyun Karst and devoting myself to training would make me feel like an Adeptus again. But being questioned by him made me realize that But... I'm unwelcome in Liyue Harbor. As an Adeptus,
It's true. Just believe us.
Alright. I'll go with you to Liyue Harbor. That said, if I'm proven right, I'll return to Jueyun Karst once again.
It's a step in the right direction. Let's go. back now, do you?
I suppose you have a point. It would be quite...
That's right. Where do you want to...
I've spent too much time in the mountains. But let's go for a walk in the port.
Happy to come with. Da, da, da. Woo! La la la. Woo! Da da da.
The sound of the waves in this familiar... The smell of the sea breeze makes me nostalgic.
Ganyu, you didn't leave Liyue for that long. Why do you look so moved?
Well, I used to be so busy. I haven't taken a stroll around here in a long time.
Huh. It's true. Ganyu seemed to be working all the time.
Well, when I think about my time here, it put me in a certain mood. Similar to the one I felt during my training in Juyun Karst, in fact.
Why, isn't it little Miss Ganyu? I wouldn't have thought I'd meet you here. You were always so terribly busy.
This old man called her Little Miss Ganyu.
Please don't also start calling me that. Allow me to introduce Uncle Tian. He is...
That's all right. Just tell them the truth. They have done so much for Liyue after all, and I am the one who has yet to introduce myself.
Uncle Tian is a member of the Liyue Qixing, the Tianshu.
What? This grandpa is a member of the Qixing? The same rank as Ningguang?
Hush now. I must ask for your discretion concerning my identity. Fishing in the port and strolling about are the greatest pleasures of my life. I have no wish to be followed around by those armed guards. In most people's eyes, I'm just a forgetful and wordy old man.
Uncle Tian is too modest. He's been around for a long time. There's no one who can replace a person of such noble character.
Oh, little Miss Ganyu. Your kind words make me feel that my decades of hard work...
Uncle Tian, a person of your standing should really stop calling me Little Miss Ganyu.
Oh, my apologies. It's not intentional, just a childhood habit of mine. Thank you for looking after me when I first ascended to my position in the Qixing.
Oh, so you've been friends for many decades now, huh?
Oh, I was just fulfilling my duties as the Qixing secretary. It's nothing worthy of your gratitude.
Talking about secretaries... Oh, I don't know if I should bring it up.
Yes, she works at High Pavilion and she's my junior.
I don't know myself. May I trouble you to meet her at High Pavilion?
With pleasure. Solving the Qixing's problems has...
She's back in character, just like that, huh? Let's move then, to
Gather!
I don't know why, but...
Indeed, it has been a while, Huixin. I heard that you've encountered some problems, and...
My father asked you to come, didn't he? Abusing his status as a member of the Qixing to trouble you.
Don't worry.
Ganyu's not only a competent secretary.
So, what can you tell me about the problem?
Ugh, where should I start? There are obvious irregularities. Without any evidence, my hands are tied.
I see. It's not uncommon for merchants to be blinded by greed.
Well, is there any solution you can advise?
Naturally. I've dealt with similar issues hundreds of times. Give me a moment to consider the best approach in this scenario. All right. Let's approach it this way then. Your enemy knows you best.
Huh?
If I remember correctly, Second Life and Wanyo Boutique.
In that case... Ah! I know what you mean, Miss Ganyu. Miss Ganyu plans to let them expose each other.
Exactly. Let's start with Wanyo Boutique.
Yes, you're right.
I should open a store here. You can't.
Aha! We meet again. I suppose you're about to place a...
That won't be necessary, Mr. Bolai. Wanyo Boutique's credit is not fit. Should we need to place such an order, we would certainly go to Second Life.
What? Ugh. That rascal dump.
Well, Second Life's credit has always been excellent, and based on their tax records, they're... Huh. Is there anything...
Don't let that rascal fool you. I know his dirty tricks best. If you don't believe me, show me his tax records.
You know Second Life's business so well?
Of course. Ugh, their every transaction makes my blood boil. I'd rather lose money myself than see that rascal make some.
Well then, please look over this tax record. We'll review Second Life's credit.
Oh, of course. Line by line and word by... Ah, here, I found it. That exquisite wooden furniture set he bought from Fanmu Carpenters at the beginning of the year. Ugh, look at the tax record. Not a word about that furniture. And he kept all the profit for him.
I see. He must have gotten rid of all the documents.
I told you so. Just as I...
But, Ms. Ganyu, despite all this, can't he just flat out deny ever making this transaction?
He might have destroyed all the evidence, but I believe the...
Aha, you're right. Master Lu from Fanmu Carpenters must still have the invoice. He wouldn't be swayed by the
I hope so. Let's go to Fanmu Carpenters. It should be near Chinksa Village. Thank you for shining a light on this case, Mr.
Oh, please, that's nothing. I just hope you won't be lenient with him.
I'm afraid I can't go to Chinksa Village.
It's all right, Weishin. You can stay in Liyue Harbor and finish your work. Leave the...
Ah, that's so
The atmosphere here at Mayhem.
Welcome. I'm usually...
Chinksa, really?
Hey, I heard that, Flying One.
Paimon, sorry.
Master Lu, we've just come to...
Don't worry, I know. You're from the Yuehai Pavilion, right? Why would the Qixing care about an old man like me?
You're very direct, Master Lu. I will be plain. We're looking for proof that Dongsheng from Second Life has been evading taxation. Dongsheng bought some furniture from you at the beginning of the year. Do you still have the...
Oh, it's about Second Life. It was a big order. How could I
Sure enough, Mr. Ballai was right. Could we perhaps borrow that invoice? We won't have any evidence.
Of course you can, but I'm... I only do my woodwork and display finished wares here at Fanmu. As for old documents and such, I keep them all in a warehouse. But some troublemakers have recently moved there, invading my warehouse. Since you need that...
So that's what happened.
I'll leave you to it then.
Take back the warehouse, find the invoice. Time for us to show our...
Wait, I think I saw one of those
Oh, Paimon sees them too. It's one of the Fatui.
They must be plotting...
Maybe they're the scoundrels who invaded Master...
Ever since Osiala, we won't call... Besides, I can already feel their malicious and my intuition as the secretary of the Chising.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's...
Get frostbite.
Jumpy Dumpty Go!
It's time for a flash
Oz, reveal thyself!
Right! Order guide
I think you've had enough.
Plan? What plan?
We just taught you a lesson, but clearly you weren't paying attention. If you don't spill whatever you're scheming against Liyue, we'll be forced to use harsher methods.
I'm telling the truth.
If you're telling the truth, then what?
Fine. If you really
About to...
pick berries over there.
I must admit, I didn't expect you to come up with such a silly excuse.
It's not an excuse. I rarely have a free morning, and I heard that there were fresh berries in this area. Think about it. I'm here alone, and Chinxa Village is nothing more than a retirement spot for old people. What could I be scheming anyway?
Judging by how he's looking at us, it does seem like he feels...
So you have nothing to do with the occupation of Fanmu Carpenter's warehouse?
Fanmu Carpenter's warehouse? Where's that? I swear, I only came here to pick berries. That's all.
So it wasn't the Fatui who took over Master Lu's warehouse after all.
I misjudged the situation and offended you. My apologies. Our exchange only
Exchange? This woman, she's clearly aware that the Ministry of Civil Affairs wouldn't side with us, Fatui.
Yes, precisely. As an alternative, you may...
Paimon's in!
Darn you. How can you wear that solemn face while bullying me like this?
What's your choice, then?
I'll get back to my berries.
What a bittersweet ending.
I made a laughingstock out of myself.
No worries. It's always nice to teach the Fatui a lesson.
Let's keep moving towards Master Lu's warehouse.
Solidify!
So this is the warehouse. Seems like those troublemakers were nothing more than a few hair churls. Let's show them what we got.
Right!
Dumpty Dumpty Go!
better guide Solidify!
Let's look around for the invoice. This one is an invoice from One Min Restaurant. Some dining tables and chairs. That's not it. This one is Wangsheng Funeral Parlors. Oh, so they make coffins too. La 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 da da da. La la la. Woo. La la la. This one is Second Lives. We finally found.
I promise to help you, and I'll keep my word. Look, it's...
Thank you.
Agreed. How about we go to... La la la.
Isn't it... Huixin, I told you that all of my transactions are included in the records. I do hope that my business won't be affected by any groundless accusations.
Groundless accusations? But I sincerely advise that you cease this behavior immediately. It is liable to affect the fine you'll need to pay in the end.
No. No. I'm an honest merchant. I would never get involved with any fraudulent sources of profit.
Haven't I made myself clear? Mr. Dongsheng, you've already been proven—
What? Proven guilty?
He's talking without rhyme or reason. Must be crumble. Time for the finishing blow.
Mr. Dongsheng, can you tell me what this is?
It's an invoice from Fanmu Carpenter. I'm...
Do you admit to tax evasion? This transaction was absent from the tax record.
I didn't think you'd find out. I didn't leave a single trace.
Indeed. We wouldn't have found out if it weren't for Mr. Boalai's aid.
Balai? That imp from Wanyo He's got his own share of dirty laundry.
Oh? Mr. Dongsheng. I don't think you'll need my guidance for what comes next.
Yes, thank you.
That...
I I must say, your enemy knows you best. To think, you came up with this plan and executed it.
It's actually one of your father's. Pitting your opponent against their enemies and watching them drag each other down from an advantageous position. That's how Uncle Tian managed to keep his position in the Qixing. I figured that as Uncle Tian's daughter, you'd naturally grasp your father's strategies. So I decided to use one of your father's tricks and play it out for you to see.
I can see it now. I'm really grateful, Ms. Ganyu. You're the kindest mentor I've ever...
Ganyu solved both Huixin's work?
Oh, you've helped me so much. You must...
That's not necessary. No need to be so serious. It was nothing, really.
Then let me treat you to a meal.
All right, come on, Ganyu. Just say yes.
If it's just a meal.
Actually, I've already booked Senor Kiosk. I need a...
All right.
Miss Ganyu.
Sure.
That's so kind. Oh? If there's anything I can help you with, just tell me straight away.
Oh, no, I don't really need help.
With pleasure.
When I was a little... Even though I have the utmost respect for my father, I've only decided to join the Yuehai Pavilion.
I didn't know that you think so highly of me.
However, in reality, working at... I can't compare myself to such an outstanding secretary like you.
I disagree. You're a great secretary in your own...
Thank you. Over the years, I became a mother, too.
Huh? So Uncle Tian is a grandpa!
Influenced by my youthful ideals, she followed my footsteps and came to be a secretary at the Yuehai Pavilion. At first, I was worried about her. It's not an easy job, after all. But after all that happened this time, I've made up...
So, what made you change your mind?
The fact that she'll have you, Ms. Ganyu, as her senior colleague. You'll help her, gentle as always, and tell her your mom used to do it like that. It'd be such a beautiful moment. If it's not too much to ask for, she might...
Huixin, I never thought that I meant so much to you.
Just like when you showed me my father's trick. Having you as their...
Witness. It's true that I've witnessed thousands of years of Liyue Harbor's history. All the changes it's gone through, but I've always regarded it as nothing more than the source of my location. You've made me realize that I share another connection with the people of Liyue Harbor. Apart from my contract with Rex Lapis, they rely on me, accept me, and long for me to bear witness to their stories.
Oh, of course. You're irreplaceable to us.
Hooray! Ganyu's finally cheered up!
Even if I've really been supplanted, I won't let you down. I'm going to fulfill my contract and keep working as the Qixing secretary. Regardless, I'll go back. I'm afraid that it might have all become a mess during my absence. No time to waste. Let's get back to work.
Good luck, Miss Ganyu.
We're leaving
Stabilize!
Baisha, are you okay? Did you fall asleep standing up? Look! Look who's back!
You even have enough time for leisure? It seems you three are a suitable replacement for me after all.
Not at all. We've been working for too long.
We wouldn't have survived long enough to see you again, Miss Ganyu.
Miss Ganyu, we've missed you.
That's so kind of you all. Given we've only met once.
We've been praying day and night for you to return and take over your...
To us, you're like an adeptus coming down to...
Forget all our envious complaints from before. Just free us.
All right. All right, please divide the matters at hand into government affairs, business affairs, and civil affairs. Mark out, I'll take care of the rest.
Of course.
Oh, finally. We're saved.
Yes. There's one more thing. I'd like to earnestly thank you, Traveler. To think that I'd gained a human friend outside of work. I'd like to repay you when I'm done with the work at hand. What would you say?
Sure, but are you ever...
Let's cross that bridge when we come to it, shall we?
Stabilize!